I recently got the Platinum Trophy for Lego The Hobbit, and since the hype train for Lego games hasn't left the station yet, I decided to get the Platinum Trophy for the game consists of 46 trophies and takes a whopping 100 hours to complete. In order to get the Platinum, I need to play through and free play 45 levels. And once I'm done with that, spend a little over 75 hours getting the collectibles in the game. And just to put that into perspective, you can get the Platinum for most Lego games twice in 75 hours. So it's safe to say that Lego The Skywalker Saga is the grindiest Lego game ever made. I expected the game to automatically place me over Episode 1, but instead it placed me over Episode 4, A New Hope. I guess the game follows the movies according to their release dates. The level begins with the Empire boarding the rebel ship to steal the plans for the Death Star. And now 30 seconds into the level, I get my first trophy for achieving a combat multiply score of 30. Which is also when the game introduces us to Darth Vader. Less intimidating in Lego form to be honest, but still cool. I then get my second trophy for collecting 17,000 studs. Before getting captured by the Empire, Leia gives R2 the Death Star plans. R2 and C-3PO then escape to Tatooine to find Luke, Obi-Wan, Han and Chewie in order to rescue Leia from the Death Star. We then fight stormtroopers to buy Chewie time to repair the Falcon. And that's when I get the trophy for shooting helmets off 50 enemies. Upon boarding the Death Star, Han could no longer contain his anger. It's as if he knew Leia was his soulmate. Who am I to complain? I got a trophy out of it. After escaping the Death Star, Luke and the rebel fighters engage in an aerial battle, where I get the trophy for getting the true Jedi status for the first time.
4 times moving on your position.
The mission soon ends with the Death Star being destroyed, giving me yet another trophy for completing the episode. 6 trophies in one episode?
Nice.
I then decided to start episode 1, A Phantom Menace, as I intended to earlier. We start the level playing as Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan, who were sent by the Jedi Council to negotiate with the Trade Federation, which soon turned into an ambush, forcing the duo to flee to Naboo, home of Jar Jar and the Gungans.
Away! Get out of here!
The leader of the Gungans, Boss Nass, offers the duo a bongo submarine to travel to the capital city undetected. And after fighting a few sea creatures, I get 2 trophies. One for collecting all mini-kits in a level, and one for completing all level challenges. The story then takes us to Tatooine, where we meet young Anakin Skywalker. We take part in a pod race which was so much fun, encountered and fought what is, in my opinion, the coolest villain in the franchise, paid the price for celebrating too early, and then scored an amazing goal. While this was happening, Jar Jar and the Gungans fight the Trade Federation's droid army, and Anakin destroys the Federation ship. The flight missions in the game might be some of my favorite moments in recent Lego games. Oh, and I got the trophy for completing a flight level without dying.
Look, one of ours out of the main hold!
And another trophy for completing episode 1. The Phantom Menace. We start episode 2 with Obi-Wan finding out that some mysterious figure is creating a clone army. Their investigation leads them to a cloning facility in Kamino, where they meet and fight the legendary bounty hunter Jango Fett. The story then takes us to Geonosis, where the Jedi and the Separatists engage in battle. And while this is happening, Anakin engages in battle with the mysterious figure I mentioned earlier, Count Dooku. As a result of that fight, Padme sees Anakin in a different light, sometimes referring to him as Daddy. The duo get married and the episode ends, giving me the trophy Episode 3 was a very combat heavy episode. Anakin fights Dooku again and defeats him. Obi-Wan battles General Grievous.
Your move.
And battles him again, only this time defeating him.
So uncivilized.
Anakin gets seduced by the dark side, pledging his allegiance to Darth Sidious. Darth Sidious executes the less evil Order 67.
Execute Order 67.
Yes, my lord.
No. No.
Yoda fights Darth Sidious and realizes he can't win. And Obi-Wan confronts Anakin in Mustafar, defeating him using the skills he picked up in Fortnite.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
We begin episode 5 with the Empire attacking the Rebel base, forcing Luke to take down the AT-ATs. Despite their efforts, the Rebel fighters are forced to escape. Han and the crew head for Cloud City in search of Lando, while Luke heads for Dagobah in search of Yoda. Lando betrays Han and the crew by handing them over to Vader. Vader and Han then engage in a food fight, with Vader coming out on top. Halfway through his training, Luke leaves Dagobah to save his friends, only to find out that Boba Fett took Han to Jabba the Hutt. Instead, Luke has the pleasure of fighting Vader and hearing what might be the most memorable line in the franchise.
Oh, I am your father.
He said it! He said it!
In episode 6, Luke, Leia, Lando and Chewie sneak into Jabba's palace to save Han. As a result of their failed attempts, they fight Boba and Jabba, defeating both of them successfully. The crew then head to Endor to disable the shield generator protecting the Death Star. While this is happening, Luke attempts to redeem Papa Skywalker, which leads to an awesome fight. Vader and Luke versus that walking scrotum Palpatine. In episode 7, Poe and BB-8 fight stormtroopers and try to escape with information of Luke's whereabouts. Poe gets captured, BB-8 flees into the desert. Han tries to convince his son Ben to join him. Ben refuses since he's a solo. Rey finds BB-8 and helps him, and eventually finds Luke. In The Last Jedi, Rey continues her training with Luke, while Poe leads an attack on the First Order's dreadnought. A while later, Finn and Rose find themselves cornered by the First Order. Luke then arrives to distract Kylo Ren and help the Resistance escape. In the final episode, we find out Emperor Scrotum is returning. Kylo and Rey both simultaneously look for the Wayfinder. For different reasons, of course. Kylo is looking for the hidden world of the Sith, and Rey is looking to stop Palpatine's return. The Emperor returns and Rey finds out that she is his granddaughter. Not long after, Rey fights Palpatine, Kylo sacrifices himself to save Rey, and Rey defeats that wrinkly little ship. The episode ends with Rey claiming the title of Skywalker.
Who are you? I'm Rey. Rey Skywalker.
In preparation for Freeplay, I got my first data card to help me with the true Jedi status in each level, and also for reaching 10 billion studs. And instead of buying the 2x multiplier, I decided to grind out studs for the 4x. That's when I got the trophy for defeating 100 TIE fighters. With that out of the way, I headed into Freeplay. And unlike the Freeplay missions in past LEGO games, the Skywalker Saga offers 6 bricks per level. 1 for completing the level, 1 for collecting all 5 mini-kits, 1 for completing the level challenges, and 3 for achieving true Jedi. As for the level challenges, some of them were fun. It requires you to tackle objectives or play the level in a different way. Like this one, where I had to shoot the spotlight to disable it. Or like this one where I had to use the force on Boba's missile. I'm not going to lie, I did have my fair share of fun in Freeplay. From changing the weapon sounds to witnessing moments I hadn't in my first playthrough. After a few hours of playing Freeplay, I finally reached the last level, where I got the trophy for achieving true Jedi in every level, completing all level challenges, and collecting all minikits. In this step of the journey, I needed to get over 1100 Kyber bricks, collect and buy all ships and characters, and complete 10 galaxy challenges. Don't be fooled by the low number, it's still taxing. A few hours into the collectible grind, I realized something. The sheer quantity of Kyber bricks and missions isn't the most frustrating part about the game. In fact, the 1100 Kyber bricks I needed to collect was the third most annoying thing about the game. Let me give you a hypothetical scenario to properly voice my frustration with the second most annoying aspect of the game. Let's say this person was throwing a party for his family and wanted us to bring them to the venue. I'm okay with that. It's a simple and kind gesture. There's just one thing I have a problem with. Why aren't they on the same freaking planet? The mother is petting Ewoks on Endor, the father is in Kashyyyk doing questionable things to a Wookiee, the brother is gambling in Cantonica, and the sister is in Ahtu chasing pogs. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. This guy is exaggerating. Well, how about a real example? A puzzle master was looking for rocks to complete his puzzle. Care to tell me why the pieces were scattered across 6 fucking planets? Let's move on to the most frustrating thing on the list so that I can put these memories behind me. In at number 1, we have lock freaking missions. Personally, I like completing an area, or in this case a planet, before moving on to the next one. For example, I could not reach 100% on Mustafar. For the last mission to unlock, I had to complete all the other Gonk missions across the galaxy first. I do have to admit, I do feel good getting that out of my system, and I promise I'm done with my rant. So let's get back to the video. I spent the next few hours working on the collectible grind when I got a much needed trophy for creating 25 disguises. I then headed to space to collect the remaining Kyber bricks for that POI, which is when I was greeted by one of the capital ships I needed to collect. Collected all the Kyber bricks on board that ship and then decided to max a character class, giving me the trophy. Not long after that, I got all the collectibles in one of the 9 sectors. And upon exploring the next sector on the list, I got the trophy for reaching 10 billion studs. For the next few hours, I escorted gongs, took part in races, and solved many puzzles before reaching the cantina in Tatooine to, well, unwind. I then got all the collectibles on Camino.
Thank you for your assistance in this dangerous...
You're welcome. Now give me the damn trophy, please. Rishi Maze. I have no idea what that means, but I'll take it. Before moving on to Greater Javin, where the last mission in the sector required me to collect Womp Rats. And I did so, elegantly. By this point in the Platinum journey, I was really feeling the collectible grind. So much so that I used a very unconventional method to escort a Gong to his destination. I then got the last of the collectibles in new territories. Pretended to be Batman and scored another amazing goal. Before completing 2 more sectors, Unknown Regions and Western Reaches.
This is rightfully mine.
Western Reaches.
Many hours later.
I eventually got the most exhausting trophy on the list, the 1000 Kyber bricks. You may fire when ready. 1000 Kyber bricks. Jesus, that took a long time. You would think the developers would stop there. I had to keep telling myself I'm almost at the end. The trophies popping did help, like the trophy for getting all data cards, the trophy for all the Java missions, the trophy for completing the Arcanist sector, and the trophy for the trailing sectors. Leaving me with only one more planet to complete, Kashyyyk, which also happens to be the location of the last race I needed to complete. And not long after that, I got the last Kyber brick on that planet, which also gave me the trophy for completing all sectors. I then rode all the creatures in the galaxy and fully upgraded all character classes. That leaves me with just 2 more tasks: complete all galaxy missions and collect all characters. Galaxy challenges are special tasks spread across all 9 sectors. It's the developers' way of saying 1000 Kyber bricks? Simply not enough. I had just 5 out of the 10 galaxy challenges remaining, and they were the Gonk missions, the Pogs, the Mouse droids, the Golden ships, and my personal favorite, the Wandering Wookiee. I left the Wookiee until the end for the same reason I bought all the characters except one. They are both located on the same epic POI. Once on board the Death Star, I thought it would be fitting that Han spoke to the last Wookiee, and then completed the Death Star story mission to unlock the last character. And finally, after 100 hours of gameplay, the Platinum. Before doing what I'm about to do, let it be known that this game, although frustrating at times, had some great aspects. The views were incredible, the humor top-notch, and the story gameplay was extremely fun. With that being said, back to the task at hand. Bye-bye.